Welcome to Dark Alliance. As the title says, avoid this game at all costs. This game is absolutely dreadful, and I don't say that lightly. I've been following the game for a few weeks, and I've been excited to play it. I've been looking forward to playing it. And I heard yesterday, so being the day before release, that people had early access, they were able to review it early, and the negatives started pouring in. And before we jump into this video, make sure you are subbed to the channel, turn notifications on, and if you want to support me as a creator, there are channel memberships, Patreon, and a merch store you guys can take a look at in the description. Remember, all of that stuff is optional, and without further ado, let's jump into it. So with this one, I was really hoping for a break from the broken games, because a lot of recent releases just come out broken. There are early access games launching far too early. There are demos that don't work. There are full releases that cost £60 that don't work. And I don't know why. I feel kind of stupid for hoping that a game would come out and actually be decent. So I loaded up the game, I selected my character, I joined the game with Pete, and I was supposed to be playing with Helen and Dan as well. But this game got frustrating to the point of me uninstalling it, and I don't plan to go back at least until they've done drastic improvements to the game performance, because optimization and frame rates do not exist in this developer's sort of portfolio at all. We spawned in, we selected the first mission, just put it on the challenge rating 1, started moving through, and the enemies, the AI in this game, are beyond dumb. They are so stupid. You can pretty much walk up behind an enemy, and when you tickle their armpits, they're going to turn around and then they'll just stare at you. The combat is pretty much non-existent. It's slow, it's clunky, it feels horrible to actually fight in this game. There are a couple of cool mechanics, like you've got secret chests and things. However, another thing that's really bad, especially for a game like this, is when you pick up loot, you can't do anything with it during the mission. You have to complete the entire thing before you're able to interact with your loot, and it's not even a simple process. When you get back to your camp, you have to go to this reward chest, open up all of the loot items you got individually, or you can do them all together, but you have to basically reveal all of the loot you got, and then you go into your inventory and sort it all out. So if you're running your very first mission, you find a legendary or a purple, forget being able to equip that in that run. You have to complete the entire mission before you're able to do it. It just seems as though this game's going nowhere. You have a max level of 20, you'll have a few dungeons and stuff which will be tough. There are 6 different challenge ratings. But for what they've done in terms of game performance, there are frame drops just as you're moving around sometimes. Like if you open a door, sometimes it'll lag. The elevators, me and Pete changed the name, we started calling them lagavators, because every time you interact with one, it just drops to 20 fucking FPS. I'm playing on the Series X, Pete's on the Xbox One X, and you would think having the most up-to-date console hardware, you would think I'd be able to hold a smooth frame rate, but I just can't. So it's nothing to do with the internet, it's nothing to do with the console itself or anything like that. It's the game's performance and how it's been optimized. It hasn't. It really, really hasn't. This game is so bad. They're charging £33.50 for the base edition or £50 for the deluxe. If I was you, I would wait until they have at least done a couple of major updates, because this game is not going to even take off in the slightest in its current state. It's abysmal what they have done with the launch of this game. How they haven't picked up on how bad the elevators lag is unbelievable. You don't have to play much of the game to access an elevator and you'll see how bad it is. There are a couple of cool features, as I said. You've got the hidden chests and stuff, and then you also have there are different time ratings or time sort of scales for each of the levels. The first one, Act 1 in the first mission area, that's going to have a 2-bar time scale thing. Then the next one's going to be 3, so it's going to take a little bit longer. And it's okay. The gameplay itself is okay. It just needs a lot of work on the optimization of it. Getting the enemies to stop being so fucking thick. It's irritating when you load up a game, the combat's slow, it's clunky, and it just feels horrible in every single aspect. These enemies barely touch you, but then you think, oh, they don't touch you. You go to a higher challenge rating, you get hit once, we jumped from 1 to 3, you get hit once and you've lost like 75% of your health. So the odd time the enemies will hit you when you're playing on a higher challenge rating, you will be obliterated. But playing on anything lower, I mean, they just take more damage as well on a higher challenge rating. So if you're playing on a lower one, you're killing them quick. You're not even getting touched throughout most of the combat. And your attacks and everything just feel so slow. It's horrible. In my opinion, you might as well just go and load up Warhammer Vermintide 2. It feels exactly the same. Like, you're going to have a much better experience on that game. This game is not even worth £10-15 in its current state. It's absolutely fucking disgusting how they've released this game. I noticed every now and then, like, I was typically on like 30 ping, which is acceptable. Pete was on like 60 or 70 or whatever. Every now and then Pete would go up to like 100 ping or something, but you shouldn't be lagging on, like, when you're a host and you've got like 30 ping, you shouldn't have big frame drops and delays and things like that. And that's pretty much all I've got. I played the whole of Act 1 of the first mission, and then part of Act 2. And not only that, like, the navigation in this game, it's just weird because me and Pete would play the game to explore the missions fully. There's no way to bring up a little map to show you where you have explored and where you haven't, which a lot of these games do. But not only that, we spent maybe 10-15 minutes or something like that, maybe 5-10 minutes. We spent that exploring one area, went back to do the main objective after we come to a dead end, just to find out that through a little bit more progression, we were forced down the path we had already explored. So the game doesn't really open you up for exploration because it just chucked us into a dead end. We went back and then had to go back to the area we had explored previously. But not only that, a couple of the enemies, like the one that actually made us both dashboard and uninstall, the enemy itself was lagging all over the place. I'll put it in the gameplay so you can see the enemy I'm talking about. It was lagging, it's got this like lightning bolt thing and that locks on like an aimbot. And not only that, it hits you all the time. Like, your dashing to avoid hits just doesn't work very well. I would say, like, fundamentally at its core, this game is a shambles. It's horrible to, like, I'm so thankful for Game Pass because of this game. It happened with Outriders. I still play Outriders now, but I'm not going to touch this game because I'm not going through that really clunky combat. Because on Outriders, typically, if things are in a decent state, like through patches, you'll load the game up, and as long as the servers seem okay and you can sign into the game, you can have some fun with it. With Dark Alliance, I can't have any fun at all. Every elevator makes me feel sick because of how bad it is. Like, I mean physically sick. I had to turn away from the screen and I couldn't watch. It just jumps everywhere. And the enemies, as I said, so stupid. The programming, it's like a little tech demo that's set up to test combat, to where the enemies aren't moving around and stuff, but that's in the full release. You're supposed to be attacked by these enemies and you never really get attacked. So yeah, what I'm going to do is leave the video there. I will not be playing this game again, at least until they have done some major improvements to the AI in the game. I want to see changes in the loot. I want to be able to change my stuff on the fly. This is 2021 we're talking about. This isn't a 1990s game. I want to change my loot on the fly. I want the enemies to actually live. It's like they're all dead before you even attack them. And I want the frame rate smoothed out across every platform because that's what this game needs. It's horrible to play right now. So I don't plan on coming back until those changes have been made. And until then, it's staying uninstalled. I don't care about the game. I really don't care. It's not like the typical like rants and stuff I do where I carry on playing the game after. I don't have any care in it. I have no passion for this game at all. I couldn't care less because of how badly it's been launched in terms of performance. And just the gameplay cycle is so shit. But let me know your thoughts and stuff about it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.